That's right, Jerome Powell. I am your daddy. Hello, fun. No, guys. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello and welcome. I have to be brief as usual. As you know, I believe it was Shakespeare who said, "Brevity is the soul of wit." And of course, on this show, you get neither or neither, as the case may be. But it's tomato. It's un poco mas. It's Danny Deals. It's Hurricane Lopez. It's Stott Karen. It's all of our imaginary friends, including the great Jerome Powell, who's first in line with his obligatory idiotic comment. And of course, maybe Nautilurker will join us. I completely forgot to text him, but I don't think he's too interested in Nio. It's Chinese junk after all. Chinese junk. Anyway, what's going on, Eddie Martin? What's going on, Brian? Jason Watkins, how's it going? I bet you're pretty good looking yourself. It's a nice looking J in your avatar. Nice curve to it. Nice and erect. Nice ratio. Don't forget to cup the balls. Anyway, guys, it's Deep Night Labs. It's Graham Coolstock, one of my favorite investment bankers from the north side of London, Hamptonshire, I believe. No, I don't know. It's just one of those names. It sounds like generational wealth. Oh, this is my good friend Graham Coolstock. He's in the monocle business. Has been for 12 generations. Cornered the monocle market, they did. Done very well in pork bellies as well. Many people think I'm built by pork bellies. Anyway, guys, I just want to briefly tell you, okay, there's no good way to put this. I don't like to put lipstick on a pig. Neo's been falling all month. That's the bottom line. And people are thinking, okay, everybody's selling it off because there was disappointment with the stimulus. Everybody's worried about the Chinese economy. But the fact is, Neo's doing very, very well as a company. I don't know. I don't want to get the thing out, but you could put another blue arrow right there. So this line of resistance has really been a bitch. I mean, ran along it all the way over here in 2022. Didn't get back up there again until 8/2023. So it tests this damn line like once every year, basically. And got rejected there pretty soundly. But why did it get rejected there? Yeah, I know my line's not perfect, but nothing in this life is. Still looking at a golden cross potentially. A lot better than a gold. But anyway, guys, welcome and hello. So what's going on with the stock? This is just something people are like, oh, you're too paranoid about the short interest and the short ratio. It doesn't control the price. Maybe I'm paranoid, but just humor me, if you will. Okay, the stock's going up, right? Up through the September 20s, big pop up on September 27, and then September 30th it tops out. Okay, and then the rest of October, the entire month of October, the stock just sells off. Now look at this, just as a coinky dink. Okay, this is the day that it pops right here. Sorry. 32%, okay, on the 27th. I just showed you that big pop. The 30th is where it tops out, and then here's where it starts to go down. Do you notice something? My paranoia aside, 55 is the lowest the aggregate short volume ratio gets. 59, 59, 58, 56, 55, 60, 58. 60 is very high number, by the way. If you follow these things. I don't know exactly how this number is calculated, but it's basically the ratio of the short to not short. The higher the number, the more the shorting on that day. So 57, 55, 63, 56, 63, and 62 again today. So this entire fall that's been completely controlled on a slope by an algorithm is controlled by shorting, and it's controlled by volume. Retail's not selling here, and retail owns the whole damn company. Besides a Middle Eastern sovereign wealth fund. So you see what happens. It tops out. This huge spike happens on a day when the short volume is at 32%. And every day after that, the entire month, it's like 60% or over, or very close to it. And it's stepping down. You see these big step downs. This is all completely algo-controlled mechanics. Nio, the stock, is doing very, very well. Over 20,000 deliveries every month. Onvo coming out, I think, completely on time, exceeding expectations. I mean, I think they've delivered about 1,000 cars as of last week, not in the totals. It's its own nameplate. But the shorting is very important. Why do I think they're running out of real estate? You cannot short a stock that's popular and has good fundamentals. The problem is institutions are not buying enough of the shares to really put pressure on these guys. So they can control the stock through high frequency trading, put the price anywhere they want to be if they have enough money. If you have enough money, you can control the price of a stock, but you're on the wrong side of the trade. You eventually have to pay your bill. Again, it's like a guy, he goes to the company thing to some strip club and he ends up, doing a bunch of blow, drinking, bottle service, and he's just going nuts. He just doesn't have his wits. It's like, short it. Give me another bottle. And it's like at the end of the day, the bill comes. And you're like, oh my God. Destiny, I didn't know it was going to be $62,000. I don't know if my Amex is going to take that kind of hit. He's like, I got news for you. My name's not Destiny. Pay up, chump. I'm going to kick you right in the nuts. Anyway, guys, that's never happened to me. But hello and welcome, and hello. Thank you for joining me on this very, very, very special edition of Un Poco. It's actually not special at all. It's just like all the others. It's a huge flaming pile of crap. And there's really nothing I can do about it. But check this out, guys. I mean, okay, they're saying the short interest is 13%, 174 million shares. Shares on loan is up to like 400 million. Okay, highest it's ever been. Okay, I don't know. Maybe if you go back 18 months or something, it would go higher. But maybe very slightly back here in, February. I don't know what year this is. February, it was shorted a little bit more, but very near the all-time highs. And then if you go back to cost to borrow, for a long time, the highest, was right here at like 3.6. Well, what do you see today? You see cost to borrow average 3.8. Cost to borrow max 6.57. And then the odd thing about it is, which is making me think this is about to reverse because they're just running out of shares to short and borrow at any type of a reasonable cost. Yesterday at the beginning, they're borrowing 10 million shares. Today it's 3.4 million. And the chart is basically, mimicking itself because it's the same algo doing the same thing. There's no thinking involved. It's just basically, somebody beating on their own wiener with a hammer. If you can equate it to like something like that. I don't know why you would, but so yesterday they end up borrowing 7 million shares, and today they're supposed to be returning 5.7 million. Yet yesterday the cost to borrow is 3.46. Why does cost to borrow spike up to average of 3.8 today? I mean, this stock is never high. Sometimes it's negative. And then max 6.57. It tells me they're running out of shares. I mean, they can borrow returner shares from all the big firms. But if the big firms during Q3 were going long the stock, there could have you reach an end to your ability to short a stock that is reaching, really good fundamentals. You see, I was looking at Lucid. I mean, I like the gravity. I mean, it's cool looking, but this company's market cap is like $7 billion and it's just being propped up by Middle Eastern money for no reason. It's going bankrupt. I mean, it's going bankrupt. The economics of the company do not make any sense. They can keep putting cash on. Look at a company like Rivian. I mean, they're just not selling a lot of cars. And you look at Nio, they're selling, 4,700 cars just in a week. They've got new models coming out. Firefly's coming out just in December. It's only 2 months away. What's the other one? I'm Onvo. Onvo just came out. They just started deliveries. They're going to start delivering Firefly early next year. They're going to start to deliver the, world-leading ET9 sedan Q1 2025. I mean, it's all happening. The bad part is over. The Model 3 sleeping on the factory floor, shaking things out part for Nio is over. Their factory's not owned by JAC. They own the whole company. Yet they're using other people's money, government money, to expand. The Chinese government's in the bag for this company. So why is cost to borrow higher today when they're supposedly just returning a bunch of shares, not shorting anything? Because the brokers, the big institutional players control cost to borrow. So if they want them shorting the stock, they can make the cost to borrow zero, negative. They can do whatever they want. When I see these sort of little odd, crazy Ivans, these little tweeners, these little tweakers, these little fungos, these little foul balls, when I see this chart, this algorithm is just acting swirly. It's just something is off. Something is about to reverse. And you can see kind of this pattern if you look, basically this shelf here. You're looking for this to kind of reach and consolidate here. Now it gapped down but again, if you look at the actual numbers, it's not people dumping on fear of a lack of Chinese stimulus, whether they announce it at this weekend or the People's Congress, fundamentally doesn't make a lot of difference. It's they're killing these calls. It's these heavy, returner favorite stocks. They're killing the calls. I don't have the, I don't know, Max Payne's not jumping up, but take a look at the options here just for tomorrow, for instance. Take a look at the calls. I mean, there's way too many. Look at all these calls at 5 and 6. Look at the volume, 14,000, 12,000. It gives them every incentive to kill these things. I mean, open interest, 38,000, 20,000 at 650, 20 now. This is all old. It's dead money. 30,000 contracts at 7, 11,000 contracts at 750. I mean, that's a lot of dead money sitting out there. I don't know, guys. What are the puts looking like? Puts, volume coming in, 550. Open interest looks to be 556. So, yeah, I mean, the volume is not nearly as high, but like I said yesterday, it's just nothing is telling me the options people who control the whole stock market and the dark masters of the universe want to push this thing higher right now. I didn't think they wanted to push it this low, to be honest with you. The puts weren't telling me they wanted to push it this low, but, shows you what I know. Jack and squat. Anyway, guys, hello and welcome and hello. I just wanted to kind of give you that, take on the short interest that it's like, man, the shorting has just been absolutely relentless. Even if you go back before that, before that little run, even during the run up, some days they were just shorting the hell out of the stock. This is not usual. This is unusual to see a stock with 13% short interest and then, 2.5 times that many shares on loan. Now, there's different reasons, somebody might borrow a share of a stock and not actually sell the stock short, because I'm sure most of you guys know this, but when you borrow a share, you get all the rights to the share. You get the dividend, you get, you get basically all the rights as if you owned the share yourself when you have it on loan for that period of time. So it's just an interesting phenomenon. Now, they might need those shares for, some type of derivative swap deal. There's all these deals that are just over my head that they might need to borrow shares for that would be not necessarily a short sale. So it's just beyond me why they're borrowing, 400 million shares at this point, especially when cost to borrow is starting to inch up. Now, 4%, that's nothing, because they're not going to borrow these shares for years and years and years. But it's a lot more than zero. It makes them at least think. I mean, at least it's a consideration. At least there is some cost. And I think the real cost is shorting this thing from here, shorting this thing even from 550 or 6, I think is very, very dangerous, because think about the psychology of a short, right? God, why am I saying right? Like a goddamn Canadian U-turner, like a hair dye flunky. Ugh. Goddamn Canadians are ruining my life. They're making me a ton of money. I love them. They're clean cut. They're wonderful people. But I'm going to say, right? No, I'm moving to Saskatoon any day now. But so the psychology of a short is you see the stock at 4, beginning of September. And then here we are at, end of September. And the stock has come all the way up to $7.69. So it's damn near doubled in a month. And every instinct you have is like, hey, short the piss out of the stock. And of course, that's exactly what they're doing. And it's working, quote unquote. Supposedly, mechanics with money can move a stock anywhere they want. But the balance of power shifts. You have money there. You have money in that position. So you're betting on that position. It's not free. It's not like, oh, I just short it down there. I leave it there. You pushed it down there with your money. Your money's down there with you. Your money's down in that foxhole with you. It's not free. That's not how this works. The spring is loaded. The teeter-totter has a fat guy on one side, and there's going to be an even fatter guy coming along, jumping out of a tree and making that slightly less fat guy spring up and get a splinter in his batissimus dorsi. But the psychology of the short, just short the hell out of it. It just doubled. It's a crappy Chinese junk EV stock that's going bankrupt anyway. It's all a scam. ADRs aren't worth anything. There's no shares. They're not real cars. So, William Lee's an actor. Jackie Chan in a mask. He looks like some guy in a cartoon or whatever it is. But here's what it is, guys. This is short-term, short-wing, short-sighted thinking. That's what this is. Because if you start to pull back, does this run look so dramatic when you see the stock at 15, at 20? And this is not all hype, guys. This was hopium. Yes, it should have never have gone here. It should never have gone to 60. It should never have gone to 40. It should never have done any of that stuff. But it also shouldn't have gone to 4. Okay? So coming up to 7, shorting the hell out of it from 7 when the stock's been up near 70 and down near 4 may not make as much sense in the long term. Now, short term, can you make money? Of course. Short wing, short term, big profits. Bing, bang, boom, motherfucker. Anyway, guys, yeah, fat guys are hilarious, Eddie Martin. I couldn't agree with you more. We got Jay Gadsby here with his beard. Let's see. Welcome and hello and welcome. Sorry, not a lurker. I forgot to text you, man. Just been, my brain is just mush. My brain is always mush. I'm like, oh, I never sleep. I drink too much coffee. It's like this isn't like an irregular thing now. My brain is just like basically a big piece of spam. Not the spam like email, but like that meat. Just packaged meat with that like gelatinous fat ooze. Weird color. Looks like the color of corned beef. And there's no corn in corned beef. It's peppercorns, people. Peppercorns. Trying to do like a Will Ferrell. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I had about Nio today. It's just, I know it's easy to get down. People are like, oh, don't you feel stupid? Didn't this age badly? I'm like, no, it's clearly in a very identifiable down. I mean, I'm not stupid, guys. This is a nice algo controlled downtrend, nice controlled slope, but it's could very easily reverse off of the shelf. This is a prime area for reversal. Notice, what is this? If you take a look here, it's after it makes this little run up to like 557 and it's kind of consolidating in this area. Here, I guess, I don't know what day this is. I guess the 18th and 19th of September, it actually comes down and goes below 5 twice. So we didn't touch 5 today. It's holding on by just a butt hair, by just a schfinky wrinkle. It's holding on, guys. Clinching. No, we won't go. I'm tired. I want to say something too foul. But anyway, guys, this is it. Like if it comes down and it starts to fall down below this sort of like 489 level, we're probably looking at 426 or even lower. So we're just shit out of luck at that point. But I don't think it's going to go there. Why don't I think it's going to go there? Because this is being traded like a company that's like, delivering 1,500 cars. I mean, they deliver more cars than Xpeng, and they're selling that fucking Mona for 15 grand. Nio's delivering 4,700 expensive premium cars. People are like, Nio's this little tiny company. But yes, but in the premium segment, the cars that are kind of mid-high that compete with like Mercedes and BMW, they're beating these companies. They're beating the hell out of them in EV. Nios are the leading companies in charging network. It's the leading company in battery swap. Why do you think CATL desperately wants to catch up and pass Nio? Because they understand the value of owning this swap standard is immense. That intellectual property is immense worldwide. Think about the value of that. It's insanely valuable. And Nio is well on the way to owning that standard. I just, how do people not see it? How do people not see what this company's doing? The value of energy storage in the battery swap, what the battery swap does for the car, what it does for the consumer, what it does for the environment, the fact that it gets so much more utility out of that battery. I mean, Nio's already there. They've already proven the concept. They're already making high quality cars. They have their second sub brand coming out in December. They deliver on time, ahead of schedule, exceed expectations. Yes, they had some hiccups with manufacturing. I think they were trying to do too many refreshes too fast. Or too many. It was like they were putting out one refresh before they even started selling any of those units. They were already working on another weird refresh. Now you get the platform. You got Onvo first to the table, the new high voltage architecture. Everything else is going to follow. It's all going to be synchronized. They understand what's going on. Let's face it, 2 of their models make up 60% of their sales, and Onvo is going to be by far their best seller. This car is affordable for the average person, the average middle-class person, and the utility of it's unbelievable. The space, the room, the functionality, the features, not even getting into just battery swap. It's just such a vastly, vastly superior solution to fixed batteries for 1,000,001 reasons. I don't even have time to go into it. If you don't know, if you don't get it, what good it do, I'm going to tell you again. I mean, it's just shorting. I mean, it's just shorting, Cliff. I mean, it's not even subtle. It's not subtle. It's just the algo's there. It's trading it down at this, there was some heavy accumulation here. They're just bashing the hell out of it. Of course, I wanted it to hold this line at 553, just gap down. I mean, people are so tied into this stimulus. It's like I've never seen it. I mean, yes, American stocks react to interest rates too, but this drop is just crazy. I mean, the company's doing so well, getting up here into the sevens is sort of kind of getting, I think, back near the fair value because the margins are improving. The deliveries are obviously improving. These sub brands are coming out. They're both going to spike deliveries through 2025. You have to think Nio with Firefly, with Onvo, 2025, 2026, they're going to deliver a hell of a lot of vehicles. China wants this swap. Everybody wants swap. Everybody's coming around. Everybody who thought it was pie in the sky, thought it wouldn't work. Now they see not only does it work, but people love it. And it has a tremendous amount of advantages and utility over everything else. And Nio is by far and away the leader of the pack on battery swap. And the fact is, losers can take the walk. Guys, I got to get back to work. It's a Nio Stock, ticker symbol NIO. Don't panic, guys. Obviously, I want it to hold 5. It's a big number. It's held it here a couple times, and then, as it tested 5 twice, moved up. We have to see if it retraces all the way down to here to this shelf and then bounces. It could bounce hard through this line. Could also fall down to 426 or even lower. I just don't know what's going to happen. It's all up to the market makers. Big fish eat little fish. Big money shorting the stock. Is bigger money going to come in, flip it, and run it up? Or is the same money going to flip it and run it up? They just taking advantage of poor, impressionable retarders? Probably. Who knows, guys? Who gives a shit? Who gives? Anyway, it's Nio Stock. It's Danny Deals. It's Un Poco Mas, the show where we try to give you just a little bit more. I want to thank Jay Money Not a Lurker, our producer and moderator. I want to thank Alberto Berti Avelez, our another one of our fantastic wrenches. I don't know. We had one more wrench. It was like Alberto's nephew. Gave him a wrench. Never saw him again. I think he just had to change a tire. He needed a wrench. Used us for his wrench. Changed the tire. Threw the wrench away. Never saw the boy again. Good kid, though. Good kid. Good looking boy. Anyway, guys, hello and welcome. Welcome and hello and goodbye and whatever.